Hold till $1,000 XRP. Now, I'm not giving you financial advice. It's just the title of the video because we're going to be discussing that along with the momentum returning for XRP back up to 265 this morning. We noted that that was the level we wanted to flip into support. We're starting to see that a China trade deal might be getting done. Maybe that government shutdown is going to be ending soon, hopefully. And we will be back off to the races in these markets. XRP continuing to outperform. And we're going to show you that here in today's update. Appreciate you for stopping by. My apologies for being out of the office for the past 2 days. Although yesterday we did do our Discord weekly call. If you're looking to get access to the Discord, you sign up through Patreon from my website. Just get into Patreon, sign up through there to get access to Discord, and you can join us every Saturday for our weekly calls. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says China is ready to make a trade deal, which would remove President Trump's 100% tariffs. We also have a delay on rare earth curbs as well being floated here. They had threatened to put a global export licensing regime, and I believe that they are going to delay that for a year while they re-examine it. That is very good news, folks. So this is what we're watching now. China trade deal, we get that done. That's going to relieve markets and the tension of 100% tariffs that would go into effect on November 1st. Now, please let me be very careful. One wrong tweet, somebody trips, somebody coughs, this deal could blow up and we could get smacked up in the markets once again. We're not in the clear yet, okay? But we're about to break through in a major way if we get the China trade deal done and then if we get this government shutdown to end. Now, speaking of the government shutdown, we find out who the $130 million donor is, the military angel, revealed as Timothy Mellon. That would be the same Mellon from the BNY Mellon banking dynasty. By the way, BNY Mellon now just goes as BNY. But the original family is the Mellon family, and it was Timothy Mellon, the billionaire behind Trump's mysterious $130 million military donation. Is Timothy Mellon, heir to one of America's oldest banking dynasties and self-proclaimed non-billionaire. Now, I have to add on to this because I like what I'm seeing here. They donate $130 million for the troops here, Timothy, but then I don't know what the relationship is to Matthew, right? If that was their brother, I haven't looked through the family tree, but we have Matthew Mellon, who invested millions of dollars into XRP. So I like this Mellon family. That's a little interesting. They go heavy into XRP. Remember, Matthew Mellon, he bought a bunch of XRP, put it on a bunch of cold storage, and then placed it throughout the country in hidden spots before his untimely death. And he was actually trying to do a lot of charity work as well, too. And then you look over here, Timothy, he steps up and he cuts a check for $130 million for our troops. Love to see it. Love to see it. Mellons, they know what's up. Now, if you guys are looking to get exposure through your retirement accounts into cryptocurrencies, precious metals, or you're looking to take advantage of the premium custody account from iTrust Capital, I wanted to show you guys real quick. There's a few different ways to fund your account. You can roll over your employer plan if you got the 401k, 403b, TSP, 457, or other employer retirement plan. You can roll that over into a crypto IRA and start making crypto investments today. You don't have to wait for Congress to pass a bill or another executive order. You can get it done today, right? And then you also can transfer over an existing IRA, traditional SEP, inherited IRA, simple IRA, right? And then you also can make your cash contributions, $7,000 per year, $8,000 if you are over 50. And that's in US dollars. Now, they also do have the premium custody account as well that's providing institutional grade custody, award-winning US-based support, low cost and no monthly fees. So we have them linked up down below. The final point is I just want you guys to know when you sign up, make sure you use my promo code, which is all caps Rector9 to get your $100 funding bonus. Let's keep it moving. And you're going to want to get exposure here because not only is crypto doing well, but our XRP's outperforming everything. We bring it back to reality for some of these folks that want to ignore and dismiss XRP's performance. You got a Bitcoin bro, Alex Kruger. Top 15 best performing large cap assets in major stock indices in the last 12 months. Well, you're missing one, my friend Alex here. He has Bitcoin 62%. That's great. Tesla 61, Google, gold, silver. We got some of that, don't we? And then you got a bunch of other stocks, but he forgets and leaves out XRP. And I say XRP is outperforming everything and still going to run a lot higher to finish off 2025. Right now, we're up about 400% on the year. Okay. And this setup is absolutely beautiful, guys. From a technical standpoint, open interest just reset. Again, this is from Crypto R Us. We've been noting open interest was low. I've been adding to my XRP long. I know I'm crazy, right? But we do so in a responsible way. My average on my XRP long is at 244. I bought the dip at 225, showed you guys the 220 order block. A lot of you guys filled orders at that level too. Not necessarily in a leveraged XRP long futures bet, but just adding spot positions at those levels. Tremendous buying opportunity that came in at 220, and I'm very happy to hear that many of you guys got your orders filled off of us helping to warn you. Because I'm not going to hit the button. I'm not going to give you financial advice and tell you to buy. I'm just going to say, hey, here's where I'm buying. Here's the order block. Good luck and God bless. Do what's best for you. And I'm not telling anybody to go long. I'm just noting what we have here on the structure is exactly what we had back in May, the lows that we had back then. And that flush kicked off a massive move from 70 cents to 350. Okay. Now this time open interest is at the floor again, but price is still holding around 260. I don't think that was May 2025. Okay. Yeah, that was the low, May 2025. But the point being here, this time open interest is at the floor again, but price is holding 260. That means that leverage is gone, yet strong hands are still holding. We've been noting that the whales are still accumulating. If new liquidity comes in, this setup could easily flip into the next leg up. Low leverage, strong spot demand, and trap shorts, that's how rallies usually start. The last time XRP looked like this, it went absolutely vertical. Yeah. May 2025. Okay, there you go. Oh, I see. That was the... I see. Yeah. Okay. Yep. And this is the setup that we're looking for. You want to see inflows coming in. Well, we have 7 spot ETFs awaiting approval. As soon as this government shutdown ends, it's Grayscale, 21 shares, Bitwise, Canary, Wisdom Tree, CoinShares, Franklin, and we already have the Rex Osprey through the 40 Act. That ETF's already live at 100 million assets under management. So the inflows are coming. We know that. It's guaranteed. And then what we're watching here is the digital asset treasury company Evernorth is now getting funded with some XRP being transferred from Ripple and Chris Larsen. This will be the first time we exceed the $300 million a month that Ripple sends for ODL, ETPs, trusts, and other investments. So this account, XRP Liquidity, has done a pretty good job of watching the XRP wallets for Ripple, Larsen, Brito, and others, on-demand liquidity, escrow, etc. And so this is the big variable that I don't know. I don't control it, right? This is all Ripple, and it's determining how much are they going to turn the spigot on, right? Turn on that faucet. Are they going to let it flow? Because $1 billion gets released to Ripple every month. For new people here, understand this. $1 billion gets released from the escrow every month, but Ripple has been returning about $700 million back to the escrow. And then they keep about $200 to $300 million, and they've only been selling it to their institutional partners, not exchanges, not dumping on retail like the fudsters like to say. That's unequivocally false. They haven't programmatically sold to exchanges since 2019. We have it from the case document with the SEC. So it's unequivocally false. And so what we're watching now is to see this flow of XRP goes out of the escrow to Ripple, and then what is Ripple going to do with it from here? Now we have digital asset treasury companies that they're funding. We have the deal with Hidden Road just got done. Maybe they're going to need a little bit of XRP over there for Hidden Road. They settle up $3 trillion per year at Hidden Road. Now, G Treasury was another acquisition that Ripple just made. Another $1 billion acquisition, we should note. They have 13,000 member banks and institutions that use their services, and they're settling up about 12 trillion. Okay, so you have a little bit of settlement that needs to take place, a little bit of treasury management at G Treasury. You have Hidden Road needs to settle up 3 trillion, and that's going to grow. Largest prime broker outside of any bank in the United States of America. And then you have the additional utilities that are being added on. You have ROUSD, the stablecoin, and that is on ramping a lot of DeFi and going to provide opportunities for institutional DeFi. And so a lot of demand for XRP coming in Is Ripple going to fulfill all of that themselves? This is the big unknown variable, which will determine how high XRP goes. As I title it, how quickly we go to $1,000 per XRP. Right? If Ripple puts the squeeze on the spigot and is only giving us little drips, equivalent of a couple hundred million per month, well, you're seeing right now that we're going to get hundreds of millions of demand. That's just, once again, 1 billion alone from the digital asset treasury company Evernorth. The Rex Osprey ETF's at 100 million assets under management. And then at the CME in the past 5 months, they've traded the equivalent of 9 billion XRP, almost $27 billion worth of XRP futures traded. Options just went live last week. We know it's coming. Okay. The only variable is how much of this is going to come from Ripple versus how much are they going to have to go buy from the open markets. This will determine how quickly we hit $1,000 XRP. Now, let me give the caveat here. I don't think XRP is going to $1,000 this year. Right? I'm very firm on that. XRP not going to $1,000 this year. I wish it was. I wish I could tell you that. I wish I could make you feel warm and fuzzy inside and tell you what you want to hear. But we're here to give you the analysis that you need to hear, which is the only thing that matters is what are you going to do in the meantime to hold on to your XRP till we go to these much higher prices? What investments are you going to make outside of XRP to make sure that you don't have to sell your XRP when you go to leverage it so that you can hold on to it? What businesses are you going to buy? What real estate are you going to invest in? What private equity deals are you looking at? Because Dom right here is responding to a question. Dom Kwok. We appreciate the co-founder of Easy A app, Dom and Phil. Nice little duo. Hey, Dom, what can I do with my XRP? I've gone to 15 different restaurants and stores and nobody will accept it. They keep laughing at me when I ask. Well, what are you going to JCPenney to spend your XRP? Let's stop playing around out here. That's not what we're trying to do with it. Now, Dom responds and he says, hold until it reaches 1,000. Now, how do you do that? For me, it's effectively trading my other altcoins, my XLM, my HBAR, some of the other good utilities that we have that are outperforming the other cryptos and the rest of the market. We're going to trade out of those so that we can acquire more XRP. If we need to cash out of crypto, we'll pull cash from those other trades. I go trade XRP long. I go short Bitcoin. That trading bag is a hustle to make money and to extract cash from crypto. But when it comes to XRP, it is the only asset that I treat as a reserve other than my silver and gold. But we treat XRP like a reserve. Is it going to $1,000 this year? No. Is it going to $1,000 next year? No, I don't think so. But give it some time, let this develop, and you're going to be looking at a much higher price of XRP into the future. But please hear me out. None of it will matter if you don't know what to do with that capital, with that wealth. Yes, you don't have to sell your XRP. You'll be able to leverage against it. But what deal are you going into next? Are you conducting due diligence on private equity deals, on real estate? Are you ready to go buy businesses and run those businesses or put managers in place to run those businesses? What's the next deal? Because if you don't have a next deal, if you don't have an ability to leverage your XRP into the next good deal, business, real estate, equity, etc., I'm worried that folks won't be able to hold on till we get to these much higher prices. So, timeline might be more extended than you would like to hear or that we would like to accept. But the point being is that gives us time for you to develop your skills when it comes to due diligence, when it comes to running and buying businesses, when it comes to evaluating real estate and private equity. Take advantage of this time while we wait for XRP to go to $1,000. Or if you don't think it's going to go to $1,000, that's fine. I believe $100 is inevitable. And we very well could go to $1,000 and beyond. But even if you only believe that we're going to 10, 20, or $30, you still have a tremendous opportunity in XRP in this crypto space. But what are you going to do with it? Because if you don't treat it like a reserve, then you're just trading a crypto, buying it low, trying to sell it high so that you can pull out the cash. Okay, well, what are you going to do with that capital? And then if you're holding reserves like XRP, going to leverage it, what are you going to do with that capital so that you can pay back that loan and the interest, still hold on to your XRP, and go make more money? This is how we're going to create financial freedom for ourselves. This is what I'm doing myself. Once again, not predicated on XRP going to $1,000 this year or next year, but just knowing the trajectory that we're on and ultimately stacking as much XRP as possible in the meantime, studying business and investing in our spare time. I appreciate your support. Now, real quick before we go, XRP on the chart. I do have a few minutes here, so we'll just show you real quick here, guys. XRP on the recovery. The momentum is back. We're at 264 as I record this update. We did pop above 265 this morning, and we bounced and respected these fib levels all through this consolidation this past month. Okay? And so, despite the big flush out on October 10th that really wiped out XRP and a lot of the digital asset space this month, we are recovering, and we're set up for some bullish catalysts here to finish off 2025. Now, please refer to the video that I dropped on Friday titled My Final 2025 XRP Timeline. That's my final timeline. If you want to see it, if you missed it, go back and watch that video too. We'll be back in the office tomorrow. It's going to be a very busy week. Fed interest rate decision, government shutdown, and then the China trade deal. We're going to be watching all of it along to, waiting to see if this recovery continues as well. I think we're going to be opening up hot for the markets when the futures open up this evening. Looking forward to this week. It's going to be a good one. So make sure you guys have subscribed, hit that notification bell. Hopefully you were able to scoop up the lows on XRP and your other assets, because we're moving back up and we love to see it. On the way out, if you could smack it or tap it, I'd greatly appreciate that. God bless you all. ZachRector.com. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.